guys, today's lesson is surface area of a prism, and it's a part one because it's a fair bit of prisms involved. So I'm just going to do cube, rectangular prism, and triangular prism today, and some other prisms next time. So before we start to get into the surface area, we need to revisit all these formulas first. Okay. So cube is, so we need to know the area of square. The area of square is base times height, or you could just remember as length times width, it doesn't really matter. And area of rectangle for rectangular prism is also base times height, which is also length times width. And triangle is the half of a square or rectangle. If you halve the square, you can see triangle, right? And if you halve the rectangle, you can see triangle. So that's where this half is coming from for the area of triangle. Okay, try to remember this. Okay, so let's have a look. Summary. The surface area of a solid is a 3D shape. Okay, the ones that are like a triangle, rectangle, and square, all those are 2D shape. Okay, so we can find the area for 2D, but you can't find the surface area for 2D shape because there's nothing to go on with. It's just flat. Whereas the 3D, the solid, it has like a walls built in. Okay, so the surface area of a solid is a total area of all the faces of the solid. Okay, so obviously to find the surface area is if you can find all the each side, the faces, then we can add up, you will get surface area. Okay, let's have a look at the example 10. There are three solids. Part A is cube. That means all the faces in this solid are square. Okay, they're all squares. And then part B is a rectangular prism. So this means all the faces it has, they're all rectangles. And C is same as part B, the rectangular prism, but it says open. It means it's like a rectangular prism, it's like a box, isn't it? But there's nothing on the top. So it's like an open box, if you like. So these are the questions you need to ask when you're looking for a surface area of a solid. Like you need to know how many sides they have, and are they all sides are the same shape or not? They might, like a cube, will have all sides will be squares. But rectangular prism, even rectangular ones, some might have a same size, so there'll be a same shape, but the other parts may not be the same size. So we can call it as a different shape, okay? And do we have all the measurements? So we make sure we have all the necessary measurements we need. And we need to think about which formula we have to use. It depends on which prism you have, different formulas you will have to use. Part A first. Now this is a cube. So first question we have to ask, how many faces they have? There's a 1, 2, 3, 4 at the back, and then 5 and 6 on the top and the bottom. So I have 6, but if you can't see, it's almost like if you could open this box up, you probably will get something like this. Okay, so you can see there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 faces, isn't it? Okay. So remember, the cube has 6 faces. All right, so we've done that. And then second is Second question we have to ask was, are they all the same shape and same size shape? Yes, they are, because it's a square. Now, third one we have to think about is the formula. What's the formula for square? Is base times height, isn't it? So if I'm gonna, I'm just looking at this face, the front part of the solid. Now, this corner bit is right angle here, okay, right angle. So base is on the bottom, okay, and the perpendicular to that base is my height, okay. So this is my base and this is my height. Now I can find each area, okay. So let's have a look at the surface area. I'm going to have each square. Each square will be base times height. So that's the area for one face, okay, because that's this one, okay, that's what we got. But how many faces we have? 6, and they're all the same. So I'm just times by 6 of them, okay, so that's all that is. So 4 times 4, 16 times 6, or you can just put it all in your calculator. You will get 96. Now remember, units, centimeter squared, or square centimeters, because it's the area. All right, next one is rectangular prism, because it has rectangles, okay. So let's have a look. The first step is how many faces we have, okay. Close your eyes and think about how many walls around this box. I think you can see this is going to be 6. Most of the rectangular shape of boxes, including cube, they all have 6 faces. Now, each rectangle we have, are they all the same? No, they're not. So let's have a look. There are 3 different types of rectangles here. First rectangle is top and the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to just put top and the bottom. So I'm going to draw a picture for top one, just this one. Okay. What are the measurements here? So this one, okay, I'm looking at this one, is same as this, isn't it? So it's a 12. So it's a 12 here, centimeters. And this one is same as this one. So it'd be 5 centimeters. Okay, so that's one shape, but there are 2 of them because the top and the bottom should be the same. So I'm just going to make it 2 so that I can remember they're double, they're same. Now I'm going to look at left rectangle and the right side of rectangle. So I am looking at this one, and if this is my right hand side of rectangle, the other one is here, but I just can't see. Okay, so let's have a look. This part, it's 5, right? So that's my 5 centimeters. And the other side, my height, is 4 here. And I have 2 of them, right? Left and right. Okay, so that's 1. So my third rectangle is going to be front and the back. So that is, I'm just going to draw my rectangle here. It's here, okay, and the back is here. So I can't see it. But let's have a look. The front, the base of the front part is 12. So I'm going to put 12 centimeters here, and the height is right there, right? This one is perpendicular to the base. This one is same as this one, isn't it? 4 centimeters. Okay, they're all they're all the same. This is a 4, this is 4, and the one that in the corner here, that's 4. Okay, So we have, as you can see, 3 different types of rectangles here, 2 each. Okay, so that will adds up to 6 faces, isn't it? So there's a 2 for the front and the back, and 2 for the left and right, and 2 for the top and the bottom. Okay, so now we know the formula. The area is base times height. Okay, so now I'm going to do surface area. So I'm going to do 2 of the top area, and then 2 of my left, perhaps just pick one, and then 2 of my front. Okay, so these are the 3 different rectangles. Okay, so I'm going to put it in a number. So 2 of them top, let's have a look. This is my top. No, this is top and the bottom. Yep, so it'll be 12 times 5 here. 12 times 5 plus 2 of the left and right. So this one now is 5 times 4. And then 2 of the front and the back. It's this one. So it's 12 times 4. Now, the best way to do this surface area, you really need to separate the shapes that I like what I did just now, 3 different types of rectangles. Okay, and the questions like these will be about 3 marks worth at least, because it's a lot of things involved, 3 or 2 marks. So in the exam, if you be very careful and do it properly, you can easily get 4 marks for it. Okay, so if I put it all that in my calculator, I will get, say, 120 for this part. You don't have to do it like this, but I just want to show you. And that's my 40, and the last one is my 96. So the total area, total area is the surface area, okay, which is 256 centimeters squared. All right, next one, surface area, but it's open. Okay, so what does that really mean? One face is missing. That's what it means. So how many faces we have? It's 5. It's not 6, it's 5, because top is missing. But because it's one face missing doesn't mean it will have like 2 different rectangles. It still have 3 different rectangles. Okay, so let's have a look. First rectangle, it's going to be just the bottom, isn't it? Because the top is missing. Okay, so that is, bottom is this one we're talking about. Okay, on the bottom. So that's a 25 centimeters and 8. Okay, and second one, I will say front and the back. So front part is this part, isn't it? And that's 25 here. And what's this one? That's same as 12. Okay, so I'm not going to put units, but it's a centimeters. Okay, all right. So next one, third type of rectangle is the left and right one, isn't it? Left and right. So if I sketch another rectangle and looking at, that's my right. So that's 8 here, and that's 12 again. Okay, so we got 3 different types of rectangles here. So now I'm going to look at surface area, which is total area. Now be very careful. I just only have one bottom one, not top. So what I'm going to do is now one bottom plus 2 of my front and the back, but I'm just going to do front, okay, because I'm going to double it. Okay, and then 2 of my left and right, but I'm just going to do my left because I'm doubling it up. Okay, so let's put all that in. The bottom is the 25 times 8. I didn't double it because we don't have a top part. We only have a bottom, okay? But I'm going to put double 2 times front and the back. So that's why I put 2 there, and that's 25 times 12. Okay, and then I'm going to do double for the left and right because the 2 sides are equal. So I have 8 and 12 here. Okay, so now you can see we have 5 sides, and this is very important, guys. We only got 1 side here, we got 2 here, we got 2 here, therefore altogether 5 sides. Okay, so if I put all that in a calculator, it's 992 centimeters squared, or square centimeters. Next one is the surface area for the triangular prism. So we got to use area of a triangle. Okay, let's have a look at that. Prism has all this flat top and the bottom. Okay, whereas a pyramid has a one sharp top. That's a pyramid. That's a 2 different things. Okay, prism is a flat, so when you cut it, say block of cheese or something, when you cut it, you will get the same size, same shape. Okay, it doesn't go any bigger slowly or smaller when you cut it. They're all the same size. Okay, so first one, surface area, I'll put a little color on it so that you can see. This is what we call net sketch. So it's when you open up the prism, this is what you're going to get. Okay, so this pink part is where this on the top of that. Okay, and the green part is on the side. So when you fold it up, it'll make it like this. Okay, so vice versa. All right, so how many faces do we have? So obviously, let's count 1, 2, because that's the front and the back. 3, the left and right. 4, and the base, 5. So it has 5. So it's interesting, isn't it? Like triangle is 1 less because a cube and rectangular prisms, they had a 6, right? But the triangular one has 5. Okay, how many different shapes we have? I can see 2 different types. One is triangle, one is rectangle. But even rectangles has 2 different sides because left and right, so that this is my right, and that the other side is my left. Okay, so left and right rectangle are the same, but the base, the bottom one, is a different. Okay, bottom base rectangle is different. So I could say 3 different types. Okay, even the 2 of them is the same kind because they're both rectangles, but the measurements are different. So I will say 3 different shapes here. Okay, so let's have a look. So I'm going to looking at the triangle here now. So the front and the back. Okay, so I'm going to go front and the back, and it's triangle. So I'm going to draw my triangle right now, and it's got that perpendicular. So I'm looking at this right now. Okay, so my height is 3 centimeters, my base 8 centimeters. Now second part, I'm going to do left and right rectangle, which is this one. So left and right, and I'm looking at 10 and 5. Now third one is the base. Okay, the base is the bottom, which is a rectangle, just 1. And that's my 8, one of the side, and that's a 10. So 8 and 10 here. Okay, so I've got 3 different types here. So now all I need to calculate. But before I do that, I'm just going to do some formulas. We needed 2 formulas, didn't we? So one is a triangle, which is half times base times height. That's the first one. And second, which is rectangle, is base times height. So surface area, I'm going to go front and the back, which is the two triangles. Two left and right. I'm just going to go with my left. And then one base bottom. So I'm going to do that. So as you can see, total faces we have on the triangular prism here is 5. Now I'm going to put all the measurements here. So I'm going to go 2 times, now front and the back, 2 times, now triangle is half, times, what is the base? That's my base, 8, times my height, which is a 3. So front and the back are the same triangle, right? Now plus 2 times my left and right, I've got 2 measurements. It doesn't really matter which one puts first. Okay, they're all going to be the same. So that's my left and right rectangle plus the base. I'm going to put base times height there. I didn't put 2 because there's only one rectangle of its own. Okay, so when I put it in a calculator, I will get, so when I add it all together, it's 204. And what's our units? Centimeters squared or square meters. Okay, part B. This is another triangular prism. Now, before we can actually find the surface area, we need to find the n. This one has a special measurement that we need to find. This n is unknown. Okay, so we can't really find the final total area, which is the surface area, without finding n. But anyway, let's start with step 1. How many faces? 5, because it's triangular prism. And also, if we open this prism up, this will be the net diagram that we're going to have. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 faces. How many different shapes does this one has? Let's have a look at that. Front and the back are the same triangles, isn't it? One thing I just want to put that in, it's the right angle here, okay? Because it was here as well, just not showing it clearly. It's going to sketch this triangle, right angle triangle, this one. And the base is 10, the height is 24, and we have unknown side n here. Let's have a look at what are the different shapes here. So I'm going to call this a shape A. It's got 2 the same. And what about this one? Let's put all the unknown measurement here. So I'm going to put all the measurements here. So that's 24 here, and so therefore that's 24. This is a 24. Why? Because they're all the same side here. 24, 24, 24, and also here 24. Okay, now let's have a look at this one is 30. Okay, and therefore this one is also 30. The last one is here, it's n, and this is n, that's n, that's n. Okay, well, let's call it B. Okay, and I'm going to call this C and D. So when I look at this one, it has 24 and 30. Okay, but when I look at the other one, which is this part, I have n, I don't know, and 30. So obviously the B and the D are not the same. So we can't say this side and this side are the same. They're different. Okay, so the B is, that's our B, that's our D. Okay, so they're not the same. Okay, so let's find N first, because if we find the N, we will know D. So I'm going to find N is opposite to the 90 degrees. And also N is the longest side of the right angle triangle, which is hypotenuse. So we're going to use Pythagoras Theorem. That means I can write N square equals 24 square plus 10 square, because N is hypotenuse. Therefore, I can say N equals square root of 24 square plus 10 square, which will give you 26 meters. Now I know that 26 is the N, so we can replace that 26 here. And I'm going to write 26 here, 26 here, 26 here. So now I know that that's 26. Okay, so I'm going to have to go with the B. Here, 24 times 30 here, so that's B here, 24 times 30. Now, if I go to the D, which is here, this is this one, it'll be 26 times 30. So they are not the same, isn't it? Okay, so, and then if I go to my C, is 10 times, what's this one? 30. So it'll be 10 times 30. Okay, now that looks quite complicated because everything is different except for the front and the back of the triangle shape. But that's okay. Let's put it all together in one, see how we go. The surface area now is, I have to double the shape A, which is the triangle, plus the shape B plus C plus D. Okay, so there are 5 faces. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to put all the measurements in here. 2 times, my base is 10, my height is 24. So half times base times height. Okay, that's my 2 triangles, plus B. Okay, so my B is 24 times 30. And then C was 10 times 30. My D shape is 26 times 30. So my final answer equals 2,040 meters squared, or square meters.
Wow, that was a pretty complicated questions you've done. Well done, people. That's all for today's lesson. See ya. Bye.